Hi, I'm Carl from Abt, and in this video I'm going to be comparing three reasonably priced TVs from Sony, Samsung, and LG to see which one might be the best for your needs, so stick around. The TVs we'll be looking at in this video are the Sony Bravia 3, the Samsung Q60D, and the LG QNED80T, and for the purposes of this video, we're using the 55-inch versions of each of these. But that actually leads us into the first difference between these models, the available sizes. They're all available in a variety of sizes, up to 85, 86 inches, but if you're looking for something small, the Samsung is the only one offered in a 32-inch option. Then we have the designs. Looking at these TVs from the front, you're not really going to be able to tell much difference. But if you look at them from the side, you'll see that the Samsung and LG have a really shallow profile, while the Sony is noticeably deeper, and that's because of their lighting systems, which I'll talk about a little later on. Another design difference is in the pedestals. All of them utilize a 2-foot setup, which does a great job keeping them stable, but the Samsung lets you adjust the height from a low profile to a slightly higher position to accommodate a soundbar, which is not available, however, on the 32-inch model. And on the LGs, although there isn't a height adjustment at the 65-inch and larger sizes, you can choose from a wide or a narrow configuration to fit a wider variety of entertainment stands. Sony, however, does not offer any adjustments on the Bravia 3 pedestal. It only comes with a wide setup. So if you go with that one, just be sure to double check the width of your entertainment stand to make sure it'll fit. Then we have the inputs. Samsung and LG have the exact same setup. They each have 2 USBs, 3 HDMIs, Ethernet and optical audio out, an antenna connection, and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for all your wireless connections. Sony has all of those, but you also get an extra HDMI connection for a total of 4, in addition to an IR input and an RS-232C connection. To be fair, the IR and RS-232C connections aren't that commonly used, but they can come in handy if you're connecting your TV to a home control system like Control4, Crestron, or AMX. Now let's take a look at the remotes. Samsung's is the smallest, and it comes with a rechargeable battery that can be charged either using a little solar panel on the back or through a USB-C connection on the bottom. The LG, on the other hand, uses 2 AA's and has a full number pad and can be used as a pointer, and the Sony is going to use 2 AAA's and more like the Samsung in that it doesn't have a number pad. Moving on, we've got the operating systems and some extra features. LG uses WebOS 24, Sony uses Google TV, and Samsung uses Tizen. Over the years, they've all kind of taken on similar qualities. They all have customizable rows of apps to choose from, and all of them are going to show you a variety of curated content to watch based on what they think you'll enjoy. Sony uses the Google Play Store, which is going to give you the widest selection of apps to choose from, but LG and Samsung both have plenty of options as well in their own respective app stores. For extras, they all have something that helps them stand apart from one another. LG, for example, has their Sports Alert feature that gives you real-time updates on the scores for your favorite teams, even when you're not watching the game. Samsung is going to have their Daily Plus menu that's going to consolidate apps for everyday life into an easy-to-find spot, and it's also the only one of the three that offers a multi-view option where you can watch 2 sources at the same time. Finally, Sony has their Sony Pictures Core app, which allows you to stream movies at a higher bitrate, making them closer to Blu-ray quality than any other streaming services out there for any of you movie buffs. As far as audio goes, these are all pretty similar. All of them use a 2-channel system that gets 20 watts of power. There really isn't a ton of difference between them to note, other than we'd recommend adding a soundbar to whichever one you pick. If you do go this route and you choose a supporting model, LG has a feature called Wow Orchestra, and Samsung has a feature called Q Symphony built in that allows the soundbar speakers to work along with the TV's speakers to help improve the overall audio experience. Sony does have a similar feature on some of their other TVs, but not the Bravia 3. Then we've got the pictures, and all 3 offer good quality images. Honestly, you can't go wrong with any one of these 3 at this price point, but there are some differences to note. First off, the Samsung and LG are both VA-type panels that are edge-lit, which is why they're so thin. The Sony is an IPS panel that's direct-lit, which means the lights are directly behind the screen instead of around the edges, which is why the Sony is thicker than the others. It doesn't offer quite as low of a profile if you're wall mounting it, but because it uses an IPS panel, you do get better viewing angles versus the Samsung and LG. Now, the panel type can change from size to size here, but for the 55-inch models that we're looking at in this video, that's what you get. On the other hand, the LG and Samsung both offer slightly better black levels in contrast. As for color quality, the Sony seems to offer the most natural looking colors. The Samsung offers the most saturation, which some people are going to prefer, and the LG is kind of right in between. Another nice feature the Samsung offers is a basic calibration setting that uses the Samsung SmartThings app and your smartphone to dial in the picture. Here's a look at them all side by side, all set to their standard picture mode, so you can get a good baseline of what these look like when they're standing right next to one another. And here's a look at how they handle glare as we shine one of our studio lights on the screens. And finally, let's take a quick look at gaming. Again, all three perform very similarly, and all three have their own gaming-specific menus that you can access when you have a system plugged in. You can change the pictures to match the genre of the game you're playing, and you can make other adjustments to different features that involve gaming, but they're all very similar in how they function. One thing to note is that the LG and the Samsung do both offer cloud gaming through various apps, but the Sony does not. It's possible that may change in the future, but for now, the Samsung and LG do have a little bit of an advantage there for any gamers out there. So that's our quick-ish comparison between the Sony Bravia 3, Samsung Q60D, and the LG QNED80T series TVs. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of our latest content. Thanks as always for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.